Yeah.
So, where were you before working with us? Because the first thing I brought up was this mindset piece that you just talked about, Yvonne. So where were you before working with us? Like, had you been looking for a little while, or tell me more about your situation again?
Yeah, I had been. So I've been with Bank of America for like 10 years. So it's been a while. And I was trying to, send my resume out. I worked with some other folks for my resume. Forget what it's called. I think it's called like resume writers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not very good. My resume didn't get a lot of traction. I spent, like $1,000 or something. It was ridiculous. And I was like, oh my God, that was such a waste. And to be honest, that's why it took me a little bit to get like wind of your program and like really want to do it. It took me a couple months.
Because you already made an investment.
I've done it.
You're like, this didn't do anything for me.
Exactly. And they helped me with my resume, and my resume still didn't really get a lot of traction. So I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this again. But anyways, I detract. So I've been looking for, oh gosh, over a year, I think, just on and off. And within Bank of America, I really try to get something in a different space within the Bank of America teams. And I wasn't getting anywhere. People kept coming back to me and saying, you live in San Diego, it's not a hub, you can't, we don't like you because you don't have this experience and XYZ, all the things that we talk about, objection-wise. So yeah, I had been looking, and I'll admit it, like in the very beginning of the program, it was really my confidence. I was like, I know I have 10 years of experience.
Which is crazy, because you look at, hey, I've worked at Bank of America for 10 years. You were promoted multiple times. Now you're an SVP, strategy and execution. So you've had a good career there. But you know that, like I say, most of the time, you were here in your career, but you knew your potential was, probably, just higher. Right. And then you had already tried to get help, but then it didn't work for you. So how did you get to the point again to where, you know what, I think I need help, after you already kind of got it and didn't really get anywhere? It
didn't work. Well, I mean, I'll say, and I forgot the guy's name, but the very first person that I talked to within your company, he's a good salesperson. I will say he did the whole like, all right, so it sounds like you might need a couple of weeks. Why don't we do this? We'll set up another call, and I'll call you. No, I'll set up a call with you. And so we had these like setups every like 2 weeks. Finally, at the end, what really got me was one of the testimonials. I listened to one of the guys that actually works for Bank of America now. You guys got
Jamie.
CFO. Jamie, yeah. I listened to his testimonial. I listened to some other guys' testimonial. And I was like, all right, like this guy is legit. And what really got me was, the guy who was talking to me, he's like, you don't like leave the program until you find your job. And I was like, I'm sold. If you guys are going to stick with me until I find something that I'm happy with, I'm sold. It might take a while, but and so that's how I got into the program. And then I'll admit it, like it's a lot of training, it's a lot of videos to watch. But all of that was really helpful. I listened to some of them a couple times. And then the mindset with Kristina, like I always tell her, and I've told other people in the ECU program, she was my back pocket like weapon. She was like, in the beginning, as I mentioned, like my confidence was just shattered. I was like, oh my God, like what am I doing? Like I'm an SVP, but God damn it, like I don't feel like one, like what have I done? Like, what are my skills? What can I bring? And so that was the whole process in the very beginning. Again, like watching the videos and just being like, there's certain things that you say in the videos that I still think about. Like, I think one of the little things you said was, if it feels like wrong, if you feel like it makes your tummy kind of like, you feel uncomfortable, just do it. Like, oh, should I like text this person? Yes, go do it. Oh, what's stopping you? And so those are the little tidbits that I have like sort of ingrained in my mind. And yeah, I mean, it was like, and I've heard it from other people, like your program really sets people up for future success.
Exactly.
Well. Yeah.
That's why I tell people when they leave the program to not stop networking with other leaders. You know, that's like super important. They're going to be your army of advocates when you want to make your next move. And yeah, back to the videos and all the coaching clinics we hold every week. Absolutely. We give tons of support. We try to be very specific because, hey, you know, just like I tell people when they're thinking about enrolling, like we got a lot of work to do. I wish it was as easy as giving you a couple interview tips and, you know, saying, hey, you can do it. But hey, it took a lot of mindset shifts. It took a lot of training and developing, because there were some times where the good news is I remember there were multiple weeks where it was like, there was just pages of interviews going on and third round here at Stripe and Chime and all of these different places. Well, hey, it takes activity and strategy to develop to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
Because I know before you worried about your resume, but after we got everything taken care of in the automated system or whatever, you actually did get on a number of conversations and in the pipeline with a lot of different organizations. Hey, what would you find most valuable about working together? Some people have said it's the community of other people. Some people have said it was the coaches. Some people have said it was the videos or the automated system. What did you find most valuable while we were working together?
I'd say it was the mindset. For me, like that was hands down where I needed the most help. It was the shifting of finding my confidence again. And once I got that, the networking calls went a lot easier. I went in there knowing what to ask, being very, you know, like relaxed in these conversations. So even if someone were to, like, I could just sense that it wasn't going that way well, I was confident enough to say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for your time, and like being okay and getting off the phone and knowing I have these other things that are lined up. And because I felt like I got my confidence back, I was able to remain positive and just know that, all right, at least I have these other things going and something will pop up. So well, yeah, I'd say mindset was big.
I tell people it's just like dating, right? Not every single date you go on are you going to be like, I want to marry this guy. And it's the same way with the job interview, right? You're going to go on ones where you think this is my title, this is a cool company, and you're going to go on the interview and be like, I don't know what I was thinking, you know, this is not. And then it's the surprising ones where you're like, I've never really thought about this. So, you know, at the end of the day, the goal is getting you on as many interviews as we can each week, because sometimes you're not going to feel it. You know, you may have 5 interviews that week, but they don't, you know, resonate with you, and you're going to have that one that does. And the only way to do that's to, you know, make sure to keep that pipeline full. And you were really, really good at that. So I'm glad all that worked out. What advice would you have for someone who's considering working with us? What I mean by that is there's going to be a lot of people who may watch this video and say, can these people really help? You know, because I know, like, what was it for you? Because you were kind of on the edge and you watched a testimonial video, but after you watched one, you waited a little bit. And then you watched another and you waited a little bit. And now I look back and I'm like, we probably could have got you placed 30 to 45 days sooner.
I know. Right? I know. I'd say for people who are considering it, really think about the potential and the possibilities of where you might go, and that this group, you guys, will help folks like me think beyond what is possible. And at least for me, just like sticking with it, sticking with your regimen, like doing all of the, watching the videos, taking advantage of everything and all the extra sessions that you can set up with Christine and the coaching sessions. Take advantage of it all because it will work. It all helps really to get to your dream job, and that's what happened with me.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the best of luck in your new search, and definitely
thank you
to be a ECU alum now.
Yeah, I know. That's great. I love that. I didn't think I would get to this point, but I am. Yay!